of my beautiful flowers.
No, but I will right now, okay?
Oh, that would be nice.
Okay, here are her beautiful
pretty.
flowers.
They
Here's her
are
beautiful
pretty.
hanging basket. Now we come down here to these beautiful petunias. Beautiful, beautiful. They are pretty. And she's going to try to get something to hang them off the balcony, so they'll be hanging off the balcony.
And Janice gave that hanging pot for Easter.
Yeah. And you know what? You could put one of them pretty kind of like your neighbor did.
So we put plants in the way there.
Yeah, you could hang that one over here. Put the hanger over here and hang the
that's
basket.
That's
And then
an
put one of your
idea,
pots
too.
kitty corner over there.
That's an idea.
Just one idea. So anyway, I called Jim this morning
Yeah.
to see if I could get some ideas of things to ask you.
Okay, we'll ask and I'll do my best.
Okay. What was your favorite subject in school?
English.
Yeah? Were you good at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You got good marks?
good marks at that.
What part of English? I mean, the grammar part or the...
Grammar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not the reading part
No,
of stories, grammar. You were good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you participate in sports or any activities outside of class?
No, I couldn't.
Nothing?
Because going to school, I couldn't go out to play. I had to go home and do the work.
When you were a kid? You mean before,
From
when
the
your
time
parents?
I was 9 years old,
Yeah,
after my mother and father, my mother passed away.
yeah. What about before your mother passed away? What do you remember about things, school and all?
As far as school is all I remember is the day my mother died.
Really? You don't remember anything in your life before that or
I remember
school?
being the town hall, they called it then, for Christmas with the school children, first grade I guess I was in, and we were singing the Christmas carols.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I remember school and the day Mama passed away.
Don't remember any teachers or anything in
Miss
school?
Bond, I couldn't tell you what she looked like, but I remember her name was Miss Bond, my first grade's
First
teacher.
grade? Yeah. Huh. Did you
First
go?
grade or second grade, I don't
Yeah.
know. which
Did you
grade.
go kindergarten? Did they have kindergarten back then, or did you just go right into first grade?
First grade as
First
far as I
grade.
remember.
Did you have your tonsils out?
Yeah. I had them out when I was after Mama died.
After your mother died? Wow, that's hard then. Because I know when I had mine out was 4.5, right? That's what
Yeah,
the
me
normal
too.
age was
Yeah.
back then.
Back then.
Yeah. So I mean, as you get older, it's worse,
As far as
isn't
I
it?
know, as far as I know, that's when it was done. I can't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember in the... I don't know. I'm not too sure about the tonsils and adenoids. It seems to me I had it done, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember my appendicitis.
Yeah. You told me about that. You had like poisoning afterwards
I
or
did,
something,
yeah.
right? It was ruptured or
Ruptured, yeah.
it already had
I
ruptured.
Right.
Wow. You
Yeah.
could have died.
Well, I think I did for a while because at that time, in all the years up until I got a TV, it didn't make any difference to me, but I always remember it was a beautiful feeling.
Hmm.
I was operated on, and I had this feeling that I was up and high, and I was looking down. Everything was white.
Hmm.
The doctors and nurses, my father was there, and I was in a bed looking down at them all.
Wow.
But and that feeling, when I used to have operations, and every time I had to have one, it never bothered me because I liked that feeling.
Huh.
I never got it.
Never got it again. Huh.
No.
That's
But-
something.
So that must have been, I think I must have died.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for my father, I wouldn't be here today. Because they were supposed to operate on right away, and they never did until he got after the doctor. From what I was told. I don't know, but
Yeah.
only what I was told. And I had 2 weeks in my stomach because of the
Drainage of the
Drainage,
poison
yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah.
yeah. Huh. Who was your best friend growing up? Do you remember that?
My best friend growing up. I didn't have any that I know of. The only one I had is at, I was about 8, 9 years old. I lived in Woburn at the time. Going to school there was a black girl, Alma West. I always remembered her name. And she and I used to play together. The other kids didn't like me. Because I was dark complected. They used to call me nigger.
Really?
That was
Kidding.
when I was in Hudson, yeah.
Wow.
I was a little older then, too.
But what about Woburn? I never heard about that you lived in Woburn.
I lived in Woburn for its temporary home.
Huh. Well,
Years-
after your mother died.
Mama passed away. I lived with the Gomada that lived in Medford, and she took me for a year. And Aunt Isabel, somebody in Revere, some woman, some couple, I don't know who they were, a doctor, I thought they said it was, that they took her. And Uncle Rocky and Uncle Johnny went with my Aunt Lena, who lived in Cambridge, and stayed with her. This was all just for a year that they took us. And then my father put us under the state's care because there was nothing else he could do.
Right.
And so that's when we went, I remember that too.
It's tough, huh, to talk about and think about. You're going to make me cry, too. Yeah.
And I just think that, I'm older now and I realize what he went through. And that's why they say he died of a broken heart.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't let any woman come in the house to stay. Because I suppose those days people talked. And that's when we could all get separated. And they put us from the day he took us to the State House. And they put us in Uncle Johnny or Uncle Rocky, Aunt Isabel, and myself. In this home with Mrs. Keenan was her name. No, not her. Well, I don't remember the name. They lived down Court Street, I know, in Woburn. And she kept us.
All of you? All?
The 4 of us.
Wow.
Yeah. They were really
Did
nice.
she have her own kids or
She
anything?
had a grown daughter.
Wow.
And it was her own home.
Wow.
But she was really nice. And she was good to us kids, too. But for some reason or other, we had to leave there. And we separated and put into another foster home. And that's when I went to Hudson. And in the meantime, I was in another temporary foster home right here in Waltham. I never knew that until I was grown. And this girl that was in the same place with me got through the, what did they call them? They used to come to check on us when we'd be in these homes. I forget what it's called. But anyway, she got in touch with the woman from the State House and found out where I lived. I lived in Waltham then on Adams Street, the Adams House.
That's when you met Daddy, when you lived there, right? Yeah.
He worked there at night. And that's where I met him. And she was the one that told me that I lived in Waltham. I was only a little kid, and all I remember that place was there was about 10 of us, all little ones, and it was awful dark. That's all I can remember that place. I don't remember eating there or anything.
Now, were you there by not with your brothers and sisters?
No, we were
That's
separated.
after you got separated.
And from there, that's when I went to Hudson. And I stayed there till I was 16.
Now, that place in Hudson was a foster home. But was it relatives?
No.
They were not related in any way?
No. We called her Aunt Bessie. She wasn't related to me. She took in children. There was 4 others besides me. I was the oldest of the bunch. And I was the one that had to do all the work.
Now, did they teach you, she teach you to
taught
make
me how to cook,
pies and stuff? Yeah.
She was alone. I
Yeah.
used to hate it.
Yeah.
Because the other kids were out playing and I was in the house working.
Mm.
I'll never forget that place. I took you there to meet her. I should just show you out.
Yeah.
You remember
I
that?
kind of think I do. Yeah, I kind of think I do.
You were about 6, 7
Yeah.
years old.
Huh.
She was elderly. She was in a nursing home of some sort. So
Oh,
we didn't stay too long.
yeah.
I don't think she
Huh.
remembered me or something. Didn't seem like she did anyway.
Yeah. Huh.
Then, I don't know. From there, I went to Cambridge. I lived at across, well, I was 16. And I lived with the Keenans. That's when I lived with the Keenans. Aunt Isabel moved in there too. But she was on her own. She was out working.
Uh-huh.
But I was still in high school. In fact, that's where I started high school living when I went to live with them.
Cambridge Latin, was it?
Cambridge Latin.
Yeah.
And I stayed with them until there was Mary and Catherine. Catherine was a sick person, and Mary was her sister, took care of her.
Hmm.
But she passed away first, and when she passed away, I had to leave.
Take care.
I had to
Oh.
So like the visiting person there that from the state put me in another home. Charlie Chaplin was his name.
Charlie Chaplin, like the actor?
It's the same name, but it
Yeah.
wasn't the actor.
Yeah.
And they had the youngster. She was in a brace from her waist down to her toes, something about her hip. And so I was to take care of her, and I could live there. That was my job, was to take care of her, and I did.
Hmm.
And I went to school, in the meantime. But when I came home, that was what I had to do for my room and board.
Huh.
They were nice to me.
But that was still Cambridge Latin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I graduated from Cambridge Latin.
Yeah, so you went to high school all through high school with Cambridge Latin? Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, that little consistency.
Right.
A little bit in your life.
Well, it was 2 or 3 different apartments that we had lived in, though. And from there, when they moved, I had to find another place to go. They put me in this other couple's house, and they had a small baby that I was supposed to take care of. And one night, it was Christmas Eve, or New Year's Eve probably. New Year's Eve it had to be. And she was having a party. The baby was in bed. And I was down at my aunt's, and I came home. It must have been about 9 o'clock, because I had to be in by 9. And they must have been feeling good. I mean, this is what I remember. They must have been feeling good, because I can remember her husband grabbed me as I came in, because I started to go into my room by the kitchen, and he grabbed me and took me in the living room and was dancing with me.
Hmm.
His wife got mad. She must have got jealous or something. That's all I could figure. And she pulled me away and sent me to my room, which I went, but she kicked me. And that day, the next morning, I got up and I went to my aunt, because she lived in Cambridge, and I told her, and I didn't go back there again. She called the,
DSS or something like
no,
that?
she called it the State House. There's a word for them, a name for them. They used to check on you once a month anyway. What would you call it? I want to keep saying supervisor, but it's not supervisor. Oh, well, anyway, she put me, I know what it was. I told her, asked if I could go and live with Auntie Ann's sister.
Bye?
Bye.
Really?
Yeah. And they let me. But that place, working there, was wicked. She never did a dish or anything. I come home from school and have to do the dishes and take care of the 2 kids.
This is Vi?
Bye.
Huh. Is she still living?
No,
She
passed
died.
away.
Yeah.
They The only one living now, I think, is Teresa.
Teresa. She's down the Cape, right?
Frances passed away, too.
She did, huh?
I'm almost positive they told me that she did, yeah.
What about, and her husband, her ex, had already passed away, right?
Yeah, my cousin.
Did you ever have any pets?
No.
Never had a pet. Did you ever have any fun? Did you ever go anywhere for excitement or amusement parks or anything like that? Do you ever remember Nornbeeker or Revere Beach or anything like that?
I got married.
Wow. Fantastic. Nothing, huh?
No. One time when I was in Hudson, they took us all for a ride to get an ice cream cone. And I think it was from Hudson to Maynard.
Wow.
Because I know it was a long ride.
So you didn't have any vacations? I mean, what about summer vacations or anything? Nothing?
No.
Wow.
Not until after I was married. And didn't get a summer vacation until I was you were older. Okay, I'm trying to think. Because we didn't get it till you were 9 years old.
Right.
Is it Evelyn? It's down to Agawam.
Well, what about Uncle Jack's cabin? What was that?
Oh, that was
Maine.
Maine,
The O'Neill?
Kennebunk, Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went there for 1 week. I was taking care of you and 1, 2, 3, 4 the McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's, yeah.
Wasn't there 4 of them and you?
I don't remember. All I remember is there was an outhouse way across the field, and then you had to pee in the little pot or something, and oh, that was horrible. I hated it.
Yeah, you hated it. I hated it. I had to make a fire every morning.
Really?
With wood.
Yeah.
And get your breakfast. And I was only young. I wasn't old.
Yeah.
Daddy came up that weekend. Oh God, I couldn't wait for him to come and take us home.
I can remember the fireworks though. There were some great fireworks. They were homemade firework kind of things, and they were really great back then. But yeah, so that was that before Agawam?
It was after Agawam.
Oh, okay. So
because Evelyn Maine used to let me have it for a couple of weeks. It didn't cost me anything except to pay for electricity.
Yeah.
And to keep it clean.
Yeah, well, I remember being down there painting the porch.
Yeah, I got a picture of it.
Yeah.
And I was pregnant with Janice.
Huh. Yeah. So it sounds like you didn't do anything. What about Christmas for your family and everything? What did they do at Christmas?
Christmas, I can remember when I was before Mama died, the last Christmas at home, I can remember that we went to a Christmas party, and I can remember Mama was cooking some kind of a cookie in deep oil. She was frying them.
Frying it.
The Italian cookies that she sprinkled confectionery sugar, made bowls like it and sprinkled sugar.
Oh, yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
And I remember that, and I remember getting a doll. That's the only thing I remember about it. I don't remember any Christmas tree or anything like that.
Have you talked to Auntie Isabel to ask her any of these questions, like, Christmas or anything like that? What was it like?
Ask her. She would be all different than me.
Yeah, well, everybody, yeah, right. Everybody remembers certain parts of their life, and other people remember other parts of their life. And
like there was one part I remember when it was a Sunday, and Auntie Isabel and I were dressed alike, and it seemed to me it was a little sale of out dresses. And Mama and Papa were sitting up on the porch, and we were walking back and forth in front of the house. We couldn't go any further. They wouldn't allow us to. We had to stay right there where they could see us. Because I suppose I was little and Auntie Isabel was much older. I do remember that. And I can remember my mother taking, in the winter time, when we lived on the second floor, there was a kitchen window, there was like a roof where the house kind of, another part of the house anyway. And it'd be snow fresh snow, and she'd scrape away the top and put it in cups, and then pour wine in it, red
Huh.
wine, and we'd have slush. Oh, it was
With
good.
wine? Ugh. As a kid, kids don't usually like wine. Really? You liked it?
I don't know if that, I think it was wine. I
Yeah.
don't know what else it could have been. I don't know what it was. But
Yeah, it was good. Not maple syrup or anything. I mean, I remember they do sugar and snow kind of thing
Yeah.
today. Stuff like that, huh?
I remember that.
Yeah. So you remember things with your mother a lot.
I can remember one time with Uncle Rocky. I shouldn't put this down.
It's okay. We won't play it for him.
No, but I was 6, 7 years old, and he was just older than me. He was 6 or 7. And he had to go to the bathroom, and it was at night. It was dark. And at that house that we lived in, you came up the stairs from outdoors, and the bathroom was there in the hallway.
To be
It's gone. It's gone. And of course, the kitchen door would be shut. You'd have to go out in the hallway to the bathroom. It'd be dark out there. And he had to go bad. And he said, "You come with me." So I went with him, and I sat on the tub, and he was sitting on the toilet going. He had to do his message, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, he was there for a long time. I can remember just sitting like this, saying, "Hurry up, hurry up." I don't think he remembers that. But I think about it now. I can remember, sitting at the table, because Papa was strict about our manners, and we had a big long table. We were all sitting around it. We couldn't sit over like this to eat. We had to sit up straight with one hand on the left
lap?
hand. No, up
Oh.
on the table.
Oh, on the table.
And eat with our right hand. Because if we put it down on our lap, we slouched. Not supposed to do that.
Huh.
I
Wow.
remember that.
So he was very strict about
He
those
was.
things. Yeah.
Manners and talking. He had a vocabulary that was really excellent.
Yeah.
He was well learned.
Well learned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Learned.
Because
Yeah.
he came from money, from what I understand.
Over in Italy.
Yeah.
And your mother came from Italy also.
She did
Now was
too.
she from a higher,
No, she
upper class of
from
more
farm
farms?
girl.
Mm-hmm. Now did they meet here or
They
there?
met in Schenectady, New York.
Was it a fixed kind of meeting or no? They just
From what my aunt told me when I was out there was a Frigiletti that lived next door to her. Her name was Casino, my Uncle James, my mother's brother.
brother was casino. Your mother's
Casino.
brother was a
Yeah,
casino.
my mother was a casino
Okay,
before she
yep.
got married.
Okay, yep.
So next door to my aunt and uncle, there was a Frigiletti family. And from what she told me, he was going out with one of the girls there until he met my mother. And then he started taking her out.
Hmm.
And they got married. That's all I know.
Yeah, yeah. Huh.
She was only young. She was only 16 when she came over, so she couldn't have been more than 18 when she got married, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't know really.
And how long had your father been over here? So she had only been here a couple of years and
Yeah, it wasn't too long
Yeah.
that she was here. I don't know whether it was. I have.
you don't remember how old he was when he came over or anything? None of that. Does anybody know that? How old he was?
I don't know. Uncle Dan would have known. I
Yeah.
think. But I don't. I should say he was in his 30s.
30s
I don't know.
when he came over or 30s when he got married?
When he got. He was 10 years older than Mama.
Huh. Did you ever have any boyfriends before Dad?
Before Dad, just one. Johnny Nolan.
Johnny Nolan.
Yeah.
Well, I remember in your yearbook, something Nolan, a girl. Wasn't she one of the class officers or something? Something Nolan? No?
And I'd have to look it up and see.
Marge or... No. But Johnny
I know
Nolan.
there's Jimmy Smith that lived next door to me, and I liked him, but he didn't have any use for me.
Hmm.
I didn't have any boyfriends.
His loss.
I got one after I got out of high school and was working. Johnny Nolan. Came from Belmont. His
Huh.
folks had money. He's a good looking fellow, too.
Huh. Never heard what happened to him, or
Well,
did
I
you
met
ever...
Daddy, and I just dropped him.
Really?
Honestly.
Yeah.
I thought Daddy was wonderful. I didn't really know him.
Yeah. Well,
But he was kind.
what was it? What was it about him that swept you off your feet?
I don't know. I don't know whether it was his kindness or whether because he asked me to go bowling with them. Or I honestly don't
That was your.
know.
What was your first date?
Bowling.
Bowling? You went bowling? Huh. And where you say you lived in this
Adam's house.
Adams house,
On
which was
Adams
what, a
Street.
rooming house
Waltham.
in Waltham, a rooming house
Rooming
kind of
house,
thing.
yeah. It used to be a home for people that worked at the watch factory.
Huh.
It was
Oh, okay.
apartments for
Yeah, yeah,
them.
yeah. And what did you have, like dinners together and stuff like that? I mean, that kind of a rooming house?
Well, in the rooming house? No,
Yeah, no.
The bathroom, though, was one big bathroom.
Huh.
They had about 6 or 8 stalls with a tub and a sink and another part where they had just for hoppers. And it was co-ed.
Hmm.
Of course,
Nice.
I didn't know then what
Yeah, yeah.
it was. Any man or woman could use it.
Huh.
That's the way it was. And it used to be awful. I know I hated it.
And how did you end up there?
I was had moved into a rooming house with one bedroom. And when I went to bed that night, there was some dirt on the sheet. And I did this, and it turned to blood. So it was full of bed bugs. And I wouldn't sleep.
Oh my
So
God.
I was working at the Coolidge Cleaners. And the next morning I went and I told the woman I was working with. She was an older woman. So she told me to go there to the Adams house. She says, at least you won't have any bugs. She
Huh.
said, and tell them, she sent me. And that's how I happened to move there.
Huh. And then how, and Daddy was working there, you
I
say?
worked nights there,
Doing what?
sitting at the desk.
Oh,
It was like a hotel.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Huh. And what did he do during the day?
I don't know, but
Oh.
at that time he wasn't doing much of anything. When I first met
He
him, I
just
think
come-
he had
was he
come
in the
out of the
service?
service. I think so.
He wasn't in the service when you met him?
No,
still?
No.
I thought you used to say something about they'd say, "Hey, Mickey," or something.
Yeah, because Nana told me that.
Oh.
when
You
he-
didn't
no,
experience it.
no.
Oh, that was,
No,
Yeah.
no, Nana told me that when he went in the service, she said 3 things not to do. Drinking, saying, drinking,
tattoo. I remember that.
Tattooing.
Tattoo.
and not to go out with bad girls. And he did all 3. That's what she always said, and he did all 3. I was going with him. He even running around with a married woman.
He was
Sure.
when you were
When I
first
was
dating
going.
him. First dating him.
Yeah.
Huh.
I used to get so jealous and so mad.
And how long did you date him before you got married?
A whole year.
Did he buy you any nice presents while you were dating him or anything?
Gave me a locket for Christmas. It was a cheap one.
Well, didn't that tell you anything?
No. I can remember when I was going to get married, I called and I told Uncle Dan. And of course, Paul good. Uncle Daddy had gone over to visit with me when I'd go to see my brother. And when I told him I was getting married, he says, well, he said, it's your bed, you lie in it, you make it, you lie in it. He didn't want me to get married to him. And Isabel told me not to.
Really?
Yeah, because of his drinking.
They recognized that?
Well, I guess Auntie Isabel came to visit me one time when I was living at the inn, and there was this woman, Mrs. Crossland was her name, and she was nice. She used to have me there every Sunday morning for breakfast. So of course, I introduced Auntie Isabel to her when she came to visit, and when I'd be working, she'd be over there with Mrs. Crossland talking.
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Crossland knew the Ryans, and, long before I knew them, and she knew what they were like. And she said that it wasn't a man for me.
Oh, wow.
And Auntie Isabel kept telling me that, and I said, no, I was in love with them. I don't know.
He made you tingle, huh?
Yeah. It's too bad I didn't know him. I didn't know him much then anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I was really naive. Even when I got married, I could have got married in the church, but I didn't think I was allowed to because I wasn't in white. Honest to God. When I got married, I didn't have money. It was during Depression.
Mm-hmm.
And all I could do was get myself a dress and a pair of shoes. And I can remember going to the priest and asking if we could get married in the rectory. And he wanted to know why, and I didn't say that I didn't have clothes or whatever. But he said, why, are you pregnant? And I said, no. And he said, are you marrying a non-Catholic? And I said, no. So anyway, he let me get married in the rectory. And it took me, I think about 10, 15 years later that I could have got married at church. But I thought you had to be
in a white gown
to go down the aisle. That's how stupid I was. So I got married
in a
dress.
suit, a dress.
You got the picture.
Yeah.
Daddy and I.
Yeah. Well, that was on your honeymoon, I thought.
That's the outfit I got married in.
That's cool. So you get gypped out of a wedding too. I mean, out of a church type wedding.
Yeah. Never had that until you gave me the 25th anniversary plan.
Yeah.
I had renewed my vows in church.
Yeah, that's right.
And had the party, had the cake.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the priest that originally married you.
Right. What was his name? Do you remember?
No, I
I
don't.
don't either. Of course I did.
Yeah. I don't know if I have any of my old notes. I know I have the notes up from the caterer.
Oh, really?
And the cost and all of that stuff. Yeah, I remember that.
What did it cost you?
I don't remember. I mean, I know I've got the notes at home.
It was a lot.
For us back then, yeah.
I
It was like a wedding. It really was like a wedding.
Oh, I'll never forget when they went to the cake across the room. It was all dark and the candles.
Yeah, the firecracker type things.
Yeah.
I mean, they had sparklers they had on.
Yeah. It was really something.
Yeah.
There was over 100 people.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah, that was
I'll
awesome.
never forget all my brothers. Daddy was dancing with me first, and then Uncle Dan, then Uncle Rocky, then Uncle Johnny. I'll never forget that. That was, I was so thrilled.
Yeah, that was quite a nice time. But Uncle Johnny wouldn't get up and give the toast.
No.
Why? Because he was embarrassed kind of thing? I mean,
He
just
was shy.
Shy, very, very shy, huh? Yeah, who gave the...
It's the same way with they stood up for me. Uncle Johnny and Auntie Dolly stood up for us. And they wouldn't do it at church. For my 25th. Auntie Dina and Uncle Rocky did it in place of them. But they weren't the ones that stood up for me.
I didn't realize that, no.
Yeah.
So Auntie Dina and Uncle Rocky gave the toast that night?
Right.
I don't remember that, yeah.
New York on a honeymoon overnight. Got married on Saturday, came home Sunday night, go to work Monday morning.
Huh. Now, wasn't that the World's Fair too, or something like that?
It's a World's Fair.
So was it 39 or 40?
You were born, what, 40?
41.
Yeah, because I was married just a year and so many days when you came.
Yeah.
I was married October 12th.
Huh?
I was married October 12th.
Yep. I remember that.
You were born the 23rd.
Yeah.
You were beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I used to call you the little Irish baby
Uh-huh.
because you had black hair and blue eyes
Yeah.
and your skin was so white.
Yeah. Changed. It's changed. Well, that's all the questions we had right here anyway. I'm gonna stop for a while.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I started it. I wonder, though, this far away, if we're going to get enough volume. You know what I mean?
Should
No,
I
sit down. No, sit down
can
there.
sit there.
Sit down there, and I'll try putting it over there.
Well, why don't you leave it there and I can sit there? Or do you
Yeah,
want
all
me
right,
to
all
go
right.
sit
No,
on the
that'll
sofa?
work. That'll work.
Unless
I
you want
guess.
me on the sofa.
No, that'll work.
It doesn't take the full length of you, do it, does it? I
Well,
don't
it
want
depends.
it.
I can zero in.
No.
You know, I can zoom in.
I mean, don't zero in because I'm not even dressed.
Well, zero in means I don't show all of you. When
Oh,
it's far out, it shows all of you.
oh, I see.
All right? And right now, there, now,
So I should have changed my dress, put on a dress and stuff.
well, the only way, there, I'm going to have to lift it up.
My grandchildren.
Look,
say-
you can see, whoops, no you can't. If I turn it this way, you'll see what I'm
Oh,
getting.
yeah. Oh, hi.
Now, what I need to do is, no,
You want something heavier?
no, wait a minute, I've got some stuff here. I got my notebook. How's that?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. All right, you have to talk up though. All
Why,
right.
don't I talk loud now?
Yeah. Do you like it with the pillow behind you like that? Do you feel like you're sitting back enough in the chair?
Oh, yeah, I have to have it.
Oh, do you? Yeah. Why? Because it's too deep?
I'm not what, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not long enough through.
Yeah. So that's comfortable. You're kind of shrunk. So that's comfortable for you?
Yeah. Seriously.
Mm.
My feet touch the floor. I sit way back. They don't touch the floor.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Hi, the cane. What do you want?
We were talking like the day you came home from school, the day that your mother died.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was
Well,
that like
day
for
I
you?
get up to go to school.
It was your birthday.
Yeah, it was my birthday. And usually on my all of us, when we had our birthday, Mama would give us a nickel. In those days, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so I got up, and we had breakfast, and Mother sending us all out to school, but I didn't get my nickel. And I was waiting for it. So I went out in the hallway, and Mama was at the door. She gave me a kiss goodbye, and she said, now go to school. So I go out in the hallway, and she didn't give me any money. And I stood there, I wouldn't go to school. And in the meantime, my father comes running up the stairway and he said, what are you doing? I said, Mama didn't give me my nickel. So he gave me a nickel and set me off. I went to school. I was late, really late.
No, your mother was home? I thought she was delivering the baby or
She
something.
was in her bedroom.
Oh.
She was,
She delivered in the house.
oh yeah, all of us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she had this doctor, I guess, that helped deliver all of us. This time he was on vacation, or if he was away, they couldn't get a hold of him or something, I don't know. But that's what they always said, that he didn't know her condition with the way she had trouble with having children, I guess, I don't know. This is all been told to me.
Been told to you, right.
I was too young to know what was going on. And so Papa gave me the money, and I went to school, came home at noontime to have our lunch, and get down to the house, and there's a fire engine outside and a police ambulance, and people were standing along the fence. It was a great crowd. So the neighbor across the street took Isabel, Johnny and Rocky, and myself, and took her into her house and gave us our lunch. And she had, I can remember, it was elbow macaroni with butter and ketchup. And I loved it. It tasted real good. So we went off to school, and then after school was out, came home, and Uncle Danny was sitting on the step crying. I sat down and I started crying. I didn't know what was going on. And then Papa came down the steps and he said for us to come in, go upstairs and see your mother. So he came up with us. And I know he took me and he lifted me up so I could kiss my mother.
Well, she was dead?
I don't know what he did with the others. And everyone sat down in a room. I guess they emptied it. It was a bedroom. And it was just chairs all around the whole room. We had to sit there. People came in. And my aunts from Schenectady came in, I know that.
Oh, the wake, you mean, was in the house?
Well,
Must
yes.
have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was
They used to
before
do
the
that.
wake, I think, that
Huh.
I saw my mother. Because the day of the wake, I know that Papa, before they closed the casket, he took each one of us that couldn't reach her, and we kissed her goodbye.
Mm. So it was an open casket? Yeah. Mm. Ah. Doesn't seem fair, you know.
We were all separated after the funeral. Everybody went different ways. And I know Auntie Mary, my aunt, took her to Schenectady. I kept her there till she was 5 years old, and Papa.
Oh, I thought she was put in an
She was-
orphanage.
No, well, she was.
Oh.
She was 2 when Mom died. She was there with Aunt Victoria for 3 years, and she was 5 years old, and Papa took her back home. And that was just before he died, too.
Wow.
It had to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he wanted to keep us close together. Because he used to take and come every Sunday. One Sunday he'd come and see me, the next Sunday he'd see Auntie Isabel, next Sunday the 2 boys, and the 2 older boys stayed at home with
Oh,
him.
it's been awful.
And he did that until he died. And that's when Auntie Mary went into the Italian home in Jamaica Plain. And that's where she stayed until she was able to go on her own.
Mm. It's amazing that you all turned out as well as you did. You know?
That's what I say to her, truthfully.
Yeah. Amazing.
It was rough.
Yeah.
It is still like, I don't know. I think of her all the time. I keep thinking she just never had a chance to really live.
Mm.
see the church and going down the street, we kept in the car,
The funeral, you mean?
in the funeral, yeah.
What about your father when he died? Was there a funeral? Were you
Oh,
present for that too?
I wasn't. That burns me up.
You don't know?
I was under the state's care living in Hudson.
Yeah.
And when they told me he passed away, of course I cried because I knew what it was like when Mama went.
Right.
And the only thing they let me go. All I can remember is this man. I had no use for him. He was the woman's boyfriend, I think. At that time, I didn't know what it was all about.
Mhm.
I mean, I was 9 years old, and 11 rather. And he took me to my aunt's house. That's where Papa was being buried, waked. But it was a closed casket.
Mm.
And they said it was closed because he died of a broken heart and pneumonia.
Mm.
That's what my aunt told me. And, but all they did was let me go in, and I didn't see him. Just say a prayer at the kneeling and go home.
And then they had a funeral or something after that, you think?
They did.
Yeah. Did anybody go to it? Any of the
Oh,
kids?
I don't know. I think Uncle Dan and Uncle Tom, the two oldest ones did. I don't think the rest of us did.
Yeah.
I don't know about the boys,
Yeah.
truthfully. I know they took me from Hudson, drove me over, to see them. And we didn't have highways or anything those days. It was a long ride.
Yeah.
And I know I just stayed in and out, that's all.
And you had nobody to talk to tell all of the things you thought or you didn't know. I mean, people didn't even explain things to you, right?
No, they didn't. I used to ask my aunt questions, that's how I found out.
Yeah.
different things.
Now, which aunt was this?
Aunt Lena, that was Papa's sister.
And did I meet her, you say? Is she
When
the-
you were little, you
Oh.
did. You were at the house, Millie. Remember, you were getting your clothes ready for nursing school, and we stopped there in Cambridge.
I remember
Cousin
one
Millie.
time when I got my period really, really bad and I ended up in the hospital. Wasn't that after I went to their house? Didn't we go to visit them? And then, remember, I was having the pains in the car. I got an ambulance. You don't remember that? You don't remember me going in the ambulance to the... Oh, I know what they did. They had, and then they had police car after police car meet us from one town to another town. I was in the hospital and they told me
Oh, I
that
didn't
what I
think
was
you went to the
suffering
hospital.
was worse than what I would have at childbirth.
No. I
Yeah,
didn't know you went to,
yeah,
don't you
yeah,
know
we
you
went to
go-
the-
I
we went to the
remember
emergency
time,
room.
because it was down here, AOI Brook
Right,
Parkway,
exactly.
that the
Yeah,
car,
yeah.
I thought the car broke down, and that's the
No,
reason why.
no. I had pain so bad I couldn't continue on driving. And the ambulance, or somehow I got to the hospital. I just remember being at the hospital and the doctor gave me something that, took the pain away anyway. And he said that what I was experiencing was worse than I would ever experience at childbirth. And I remember when I gave birth, it was like nothing compared to that
Honestly.
pain that I had there.
That's
Yeah.
something. No, I don't remember
You
that.
don't remember that part of it?
Part, no.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
changing police cars.
Yeah, afterwards.
And they drove me to
They
the door.
drove my car home, and then we went from
Watertown.
from one town, and we met a police car in the beginning of Waltham, and then the Waltham police took us, home.
I don't remember you going to the hospital.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. But was that? I mean, I think it was there that we had visited her
We
first.
had visited, right.
That's
that
what I
was it.
thought,
But
and then-
Aunt Lena wasn't living then.
Oh,
You were too small to remember her, I think.
Huh.
But you did. I did take you there.
yeah.
'Cause
Now was she Aunt Victoria's sister
no,
or
it was
something?
my father's sister.
Aunt Lena was.
Aunt Lena
father's.
and Papa was brother and sister.
Oh, okay.
And
And Millie was the
Aunt
daughter?
Victoria was Mama's sister.
Okay. And Millie was what?
Millie was my cousin. my
Lena's
first cousin.
daughter.
Lena's daughter.
Okay.
One of the young ones. She had a large family. That's why she didn't keep Johnny and Rocky
Oh.
with her. Uncle Johnny and Uncle Rocky. She kept them for a year. She didn't have the room.
Mm. But you did most of your growing up in Revere. I mean, till your mother died.
5 to 8 years old.
Huh. In the same place? You didn't own it. You
No,
rented
we
it?
didn't. No, we didn't own it. Papa bought a house, I know, in Winthrop after Mama died.
Hmm.
And he and the 2 boys lived there. I don't know what happened to that. Uncle Dan would know, but
Hmm.
he never told me.
Hmm.
I think there was some money involved. I don't know. I mean, that's my thinking.
Mm.
Because you must get something for the house,
Hmm.
I should think. The 2 family.
So, is that where he died?
Papa?
Yeah. When he owned the house, he died?
And John, Uncle Tom and Uncle Dan were living with him.
Hmm.
He kept the 2 boys because they were older.
Yeah.
And Uncle Dan, after Papa died, he took over and he used to come and visit each one of us.
Right. Because Uncle Tom died the year after your father died.
Yeah.
Wow. So that must. Now, when your brother died, how was that? What was that like? I mean, how did you hear about that?
Aunt Lena. She was the one, because she was in charge of us.
Hmm.
What do you call it?
That was before you. When your father died, did you go right to Hudson then, or?
When my father died, I was living in
Or
Hudson.
you were already in Hudson?
I was living in Hudson. They took me from Hudson
Oh,
to
okay.
Cambridge.
All right. So when your brother died, you were still in Hudson then.
Yeah. And I just never went to away because they couldn't find his body. Never found his body.
Hmm.
Well, ocean was under flames. They said they found a belt with the T on it. And that's all they figured was Uncle Tom's.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. She was our executress. That's
Mhm.
what you call it.
Lena?
Yeah, I still have the letter.
Hmm.
It's from the bank saying each one of us would get the money that was his insurance, whatever it was, I don't know. We each got $200 and something. Of course, those days that was a lot of money.
It's a
And
lot
I
of
never
money.
got it. Your grandmother got it.
Which
She got
grandmother?
most of it. Nana. Yeah.
How did she get it?
She borrowed money from me. Never paid me back.
Wow.
She gave me 50 cents back is all I got. She was supposed to pay me 50 cents a week.
Wow.
She used it for Beano. That's why it always bothered me when she'd call and ask for money for Beano.
Mm.
We always gave it to her, but it always bothered me. I hated giving it to her. And we couldn't get that money until we were 21 years old.
Wow. Wow, that would have bought a house,
Yeah,
or at least put the down payment on a house.
could have been some money there in the bank today. But little by little, man, she kept asking me, and I was in love with her son, and I had to be nice to her. I mean, that's the way I was feeling. So I gave it to her. Then got it back though. Daddy knew it. She heard me say it enough times.
Hmm.
And I met your father.
Hmm?
Then I met your father.
What did he think about your childhood and everything when you first met
Daddy
him?
never said anything about it.
Really?
Never.
I mean, did you tell him about it when you first were dating him and stuff like that? You
I
must
don't
have told him.
remember.
You didn't have a mother and father, or
I am probably, I do,
Yeah.
but I don't remember.
do you think he felt bad for you or anything?
I
No.
don't think so.
Hmm.
I don't think so.
Hmm.
If he did, he didn't show it.
Yeah.
had to know. I used to tell them.
Mm.
Because you hear me telling other people.
Yeah. It's amazing, though, that you stay connected to your brothers and sisters with all of that, you know?
Well, I know Auntie Mary, like I started to say, she was in the orphanage there from the time she was 5, but Uncle Rocky and Uncle Johnny didn't see her from the time she was 2 years old until Uncle Dan was getting married. That's when she met them. And I can't remember what year he got married and how long. I think it was something like 10, 12 years, something like that.
Later.
They hadn't seen each other. Because I know, I can still see Auntie Mary going up to Uncle Rocky, and they gave each other a kiss and a hug. And she, couldn't say anything, couldn't converse with them. None of us could, really.
Mm.
We couldn't really talk to each other. And I think that's why Uncle Rocky's the way he is the bringing up that we got. We were afraid of each other.
Hmm.
Something, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was one that, and I still did it after I got married, I had to go see my
Kept it
relatives.
together, yeah, I remember that. Mm. Yeah, you definitely kept them together later on.
Yeah. And that's as much as I know, I guess.
Well, you knew when we went to Hudson, you remembered how you walked down the street, where you went to
Yeah.
school. I mean, you
Yeah.
you were so clear
Yeah.
on everything,
I still
you know.
remember that.
Yeah. Do you remember any of the schooling there? Anything about the schooling or the teachers there?
Oh, I had nuns.
You had nuns
I was
teaching.
at the Catholic school for a while, and then when I was in the 8th grade, I think it was, I went to, when was it? Could have been the 8th grade. No, it was the 6th grade, I think. I was at the Harriman Grammar School, that was right near where I lived, about 3 houses up from where I lived.
Hmm.
That's where the kids used to call me Nita.
Hmm.
Because, it hurt, because I wasn't
Mm.
black.
Mm.
There were no black kids there.
Hmm.
And that's where I used to mourn, and she was hard, mean, I think. But I did learn how to cook. I learned how to take care of a house. That's what I had to do.
Mhm.
And I was 9 years old, and I was baking every Friday. I'd come home from school, and there was three pies, I guess it was, or 4 pies, I don't know. I think it was 3. And I had to bake the pies, the donuts, the cookies, and the cake every Friday for the week.
Hmm.
And the donuts, they were hard to do. And I was only a little kid. I can remember this big pot was about this big, full of water, hot water, boiling water, had to boil. And there was another pot with fat in it. And I used to put make the dough, cut the donuts, take and put the donuts in the fat, turn them over, and that got brown, you take them, and you had to go fast. You take the donut with the fork and go like this in the hot water and onto a plate.
Hmm.
Because you didn't want them to get wet, you just want to get the grease off of them.
Hmm.
I used to have to do that, and I was only a little kid. And the kids in the summertime, they'd be outside playing, and I would be in the house doing the work, having to do the work. In the mornings, before I even went to school, I used to have to wash clothes like this
Scrub board? Yeah.
scrubboard sheets, and put them through the wringer and hang them out before I went to school.
Hmm.
I never forgot that. That I thought was cruel. But even like we had our periods, we had to have cloth pads that they were rough.
Mm.
And we had to soak them and wash them out ourselves.
Mm.
And that was another job, and hang them out in the line and everybody could see it.
Mm. Mm.
Oh, it was nice.
Mm.
I can remember twice I was put to bed without supper. And one time I remember I was in church, and the church seats, the back of the seat in front of you was all open. It was all wooden. This is
Slats,
years
you
ago,
mean?
yeah.
Kind of thing?
Well, not, they were open like about this. And of course, everybody put their pocketbook or their rosary beads or whatever they had in their hand, they put on this chair. These are kids. I was in school, we had to go to church in the morning before we went to school. And so I was kneeling and I was doing this with my rosary beads on the, and the kids went home and told Aunt Bessie, that's what we called her, and I got punished for it.
Mhm.
I was put to bed. Not to bed, I was bed without supper.
Hmm.
The other time was he found letters in my pocket that I was writing to my aunt, telling her what she was doing to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And she didn't like that, because I was telling her what was going on. And that was another time I went to bed.
And the letters, she took the letters, I suppose, yeah.
I never got them sent.
Hmm.
I used to try to put them in my pocket on the way to school, but I got squealed on.
Hmm.